let's talk a bit about managing your mindset, because this is a big one when it comes to networking. I mentioned before permission structure. We need to give ourselves permission to put what we want out there, ask for what we need. So basically, what that means is get out of your own way. So sometimes we can sort of, come up with some ways that make it easier for us to do that. I honestly believe that networking is tied to leadership. So if you are someone who sees themselves as a strong leader, aspires to be a strong leader, or even better leader, think about networking as a way to serve that goal. Your ability to cultivate relationships directly impacts your effectiveness as a leader. Leadership is about influence. So cultivating those relationships serves your ability to influence. Trusted networks can provide insight, support, influence. People see you as a person they need in their world because you can help be a connector. So really, by defining it as not something that's self-serving, but something that serves you as a leader that impacts others, sometimes can be what unlocks your ability to just dive in. A great way to think about this, an important aspect of this mindset, is to shift your thinking from transactional to relational. Meaning, this is not just about, I need a job today, I want to call that person today to get that opportunity. That's not a bad thing to do at all, but sometimes we hold ourselves back because it feels self-serving. When you think about it more long term, when you think about it more from a relational perspective and a mutual benefit perspective, it changes things, because it might be outreach, not with a specific request. It's just, I haven't talked to you in a long time, I want to connect with you, that kind of thing. Most of the time, people are really happy to hear from you. I can tell you from my own experience. I mean, I mentioned I've been with 3 companies, I've been on boards, I have a really good network. Then my world changed. I did a whole career pivot and started my own business. And you got to believe how important my network was to me in getting my business off the ground. But I had to have the courage to get out there and ask, to use my network and ask. And it has made all the difference. I am really proud of the business that I've built, and it's based on my network. And that's part of why I'm so passionate about it. I see the benefit it offers, both for entrepreneurs like me, but also for people in the corporate world, or people considering all aspects of that. So don't think about it from a transactional perspective. Think about building a genuine relationship over time. So that's not about needing something today. That's about the connection, the idea sharing, the learning what's out there. You never know what's going to come of this, what you're going to be able to give and what you're going to be able to get. And that leads me to another mindset point, which is leading with generosity. A lot of times when I talk to clients about networking and they're like, what am I going to say? How do I get started? It's really helpful to think about asking what you can do to help them. Now, sometimes that naturally comes in at the end, but always include that as part of the conversation. If you're calling and asking somebody for ideas or connections, it might be to a job, it might be to a vendor. Do they have a resource that they recommend for a certain need that you have? Always ask what you can do to help them. You never know. They may have a connection. They may have, hey, I never thought about that. I'm looking for a supplier to provide this or whatever. So that can help shift your mindset of there's going to be mutual benefit here, and unlock that if it's feeling self-serving and you're holding yourself back from that regard. And then give yourself permission to ask for what you want. This one sounds easy. It isn't always. Be clear on what it is you are hoping to get out of the interaction. If you're building a relationship, there may be times where that point of contact is transactional. There's something specific that you want. Give yourself permission to ask. Sometimes by feeling uncomfortable about asking for something, we bring weirdness to the interaction. Just be clear on what you want and ask. Trust that that person has agency, can use their words, can express themselves whether they want to do it or not. If you are willing to hear no for an answer and your request is reasonable, there's almost no reason not to ask. And then you respect what the other person says. If you're sensing that they're uncomfortable, you can react to that, but don't make them uncomfortable by asking in a weird way. It's remarkable how often we do that.